The story of Grizzly Adams is big and powerful and beautiful. They call me Mad Jack. And me and my burro number 7 been traipsing these slopes and valleys for a long spell, so I know the story from the beginning. My friend Adams was accused of a crime he didn't commit, so he escaped into the mountains, leaving behind the only life that he ever knew. Now that wilderness out there ain't no place for a greenhorn, and his chances of surviving were mighty slim. Weren't no time at all, for he was beaten down, ragged, and nearly starved. Long about then, he come upon a grizzly bear cub, all alone and helpless. Now, Adams knew that little critter couldn't survive without his help, so he started right down that cliff, risking his own life to save it. Now, that cub took to Adams right off. And that was when he discovered he had a special kind of way with animals. They just come right up to him like he was a natural part of the wilderness. But that bear cub, he was extra special. As he growed, he became the best friend Adams ever had, and together they became a legend.
There's a world where we don't have to run, maybe. There's a time we'll call our own, living free in harmony and majesty. Take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home.
Now, I've been traipsing around these here mountains for a good many years, and I more'n likely know every tree, every rock, and every bend of the river. But when it comes to animals, I gotta admit that my friend James Adams has the edge. He can read critters as easy as trail signs, and when it comes to folks and the things they do, well, he can sort of figure them out too. And it seems there ain't never nothing that surprises him anymore, no matter how strange it might be. Now, on this particular morning, Adams was cooking up a mess of flapjacks for himself and his friend Ben, who had a special hankering for his favorite food.
Ben, ain't these the best pancakes you've ever eaten? I'm telling you, that Jack's recipe is just about the best I've ever had. There's no denying that. You know, I don't even remember Ma's flapjacks tasting this good. Now, Ben, don't tell me you ate that already. Boy, I can't believe you. You know, you've eaten over 20 pancakes. You gotta learn to slow down. Gotta digest your food. Now, wait just a minute here. My breakfast just didn't get up and walk away. Well, I should have figured it was you, Joshua. They're pretty good, aren't they? They're a lot better with this syrup on them, though. Quit your grumbling, Ben. It's good to share. I made enough batter here to feed a whole wagon train. Hi, Tumaqua. It's good to see you, my brother.
Dear guy, chick, Adam. Sure that you Ben.
Why don't you sit down and join us for breakfast? Making flapjacks.
Bye, da. Dale walk. Hina wafua shilok. Biaffa.
Ben, did you hear that? Tumaqua says the fish are running up the river. Whole tribe's down there laying in a good supply. Like to know if we'd like to go along with them. Nice big juicy trout. You know that's your favorite. I guess he's had one too many flapjacks. He's eaten over 2 dozen already.
Kamale Rima.
I understand, Nicoma. You know them fish aren't going to wait for you. Like to take some of these along with you in case you get hungry.
Bida.
You don't know what you're missing. Good luck.
When the streams are high and plumb full of fish, every Indian of the tribe what can walk or crawl is out there with a spear, looking to bring home enough supper to last a month. Even the young'uns have a go at it. It's kind of their way of proving themselves skillful enough to be brave. Now then, there was this one little feller by the name of Tumaqua. He had more gumption than a bobcat with his tail on fire. Well, he was kind of the runt of the tribe, and he was an orphan, which meant he belonged to everyone in general, but no one in particular. And he sort of had what you might call a natural talent for being clumsy. Of course, that ain't to say he weren't a darn good little fisherman. In fact, he had caught more than his share of the fish already. But there was this curious and hungry otter that had ideas of his own as to who them fish really belonged to. Although Tumaqua had been down to the settlement and learned English and was smarter than a whip with numbers, that otter had hoodwinked him. And he would have caught him except for that knack of tripping over his own feet. When the other boys of the village saw Tumaqua with no fish, they started joshing him, saying that he was going to bring disgrace to the tribe if he come back with no fish. Well, that sort of talk didn't exactly perk Tumaqua's spirits up now.
Well, that's it, Ben. There ain't no more. I can't believe you ate another 10 flapjacks. I think I ate 20 all told myself, though. Oh, I'm stuffed. I don't think I'll ever eat again. I think I'm gonna catch a little shut-eye and let this breakfast of mine digest proper-like. Ben, I don't feel like playing that right now. I know. Look, if you don't have the urge to get any sleep, why don't you just go on down to the river and see what kind of luck Nicoma's having?
Chief Kihatsa and his men were having a fine day fishing while poor little Tumaqua was fretting about having to go back to the fishing camp empty-handed. He was a-worrying mightily because he'd be the only one coming back to the camp without any fish, and he didn't want to be laughed at again. Now, when Tumaqua saw the chief and his men pulling out even more fish, an idea started buzzing around in his head. Now, he was as honest as a next youngster, but I guess you might say his frustration sort of turned to temptation when he saw all them fish just a-sitting there, fingers away. Now, you might say that basket just sort of jumped into his hands. Now, that might have been all well and good, excepting for one little thing. Them fish was caught personal-like by Chief Kihatsa himself, and they was his own personal possessions. Now, when Okima came back to put more fish in the baskets, it looked like something fishy was going on. Tumaqua thought his troubles was over, but they was just beginning. A pack of hungry wolves sniffed the tantalizing odor of that good fresh trout. Now, Tumaqua could run almost as fast as a young deer, but he sure weren't no match for them hungry wolves.
No, get away!
Tumaqua figured his life was worth more than them fish, but he still wasn't out of the woods yet as far as them wolves was concerned. In trying to escape from them wolves, Tumaqua's tribal beads fell off, and until he got 'em back, he was in for a spell of bad luck. Tumaqua felt like a trapped raccoon up that tree. But then good old Ben came along just in time to scare them wolves off. Now the sight and smell of the fish just about made old Ben's mouth water. But he was so full of flapjacks that all he could do was just play with the fish. Along about that time, Okima, the chief's brother, come looking for the basket of missing fish. And to him, it looked like he'd found the thief red-handed.
If I were you, Jack. It's too nice a day for a old mountain man like you to be chased through the woods by a young greenhorn like me.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to wet you down. I was going to offer you a drink. You looked like you was sleeping thirsty.
Give me your hand.
Just look what you made me do. You got my leathers all wet. What was that stuff I stepped in anyway?
Why, that's the rest of your flapjack batter.
That's pure flapjack batter?
Yeah.
My gracious, boy, that stuff is deadly. Well, that'll eat holes through your moccasins and peel all the skin off your feet.
I thought you told me you made the best batter on this side of the mountain.
Well, I do, but it's got to be cooked up real good. Otherwise, it's destructive. Why, I had an uncle one time that chalked his log cabin with that stuff, and it ate the whole cabin right to the ground before the sun went down.
How about that?
Well, in case you don't know it, that there's a hawk. Hey. Hold up, Adam. Come on, Seven.
Yo! Yo! Yo!
Easy now, girl. That's it. Let's take a look-see at that wing.
You know this particular bird?
She had a broken wing a while back.
Let me guess. You fixed it.
I did the best I could. Seems to be healing up just fine. You aren't going to be needing me anymore, are you?
You know, Adams, you got away with every creature in this forest. Except maybe me and number 7.
Well, go ahead. That's it. There he goes. He's flying real good now.
Adam! Adam! Adams! Tumaqua was bringing some mighty bad news. And because the embers was still warm, he knew that Adams was close by.
What is it? Looks like a wolf pack's been running here. By the looks of the way they tore this ground up, it looked like they were mighty hungry. Tracks show maybe there's 3 or 4 of them.
Well, they're still hungry because they didn't get them rabbits.
Adams! Ben! Hey! Baka wiki wik. Hasabloga ispua. Hadalie.
You wouldn't do that.
What makes the tribal council think that Ben stole the fish?
Okima, willa duktum. Ek, iguk.
Okima saw him take it?
He couldn't have done that. Ben and I just had breakfast together this morning. He ate enough flapjacks to last him another couple of weeks.
What's a few fish matter anyway? The streams is full of them.
Hasabloga. Ek, abua koek.
You stole Chief Kahatsa's fish?
I don't like the sound of that.
What does the tribal council plan on doing?
Yula dek.
They haven't made their mind up yet, huh?
We better get up there, Adams, and get this thing cooled down before it gets out of hand. I mean, stealing is something that Nakoma's people don't look lightly on. And stealing from Chief Kihatsa, Ben's in trouble.
Didn't want it turning out this way, but how could you come right out and say I'm the one who's in the wrong?
Dagnap, number 7, slow down. Usually you're slower than the turtle wearing lead breeches. Now all of a sudden you think you're a racehorse. Let me be the leader.
Have you ever done something wrong? 'Cause at the time it seemed the only way. And even though it caused you shame, you left a friend to take the blame. And when you admit to your mistakes, the bitter pill is not so hard to take. 'Cause everything we do is in his plan. That's how you know when you're a man. That's how you know when you're a man.
Look around, and we all knew that Ben was in serious trouble.
Yeah. Oh, I know what that means. Ben's been accused of a crime, and he's got to stay in this rock circle till the council over there decides what's a fit punishment.
Well, that's a fine mess you got yourself into, Ben. But I know a thing or three about tribal law. Wait just a minute.
Chief?
You didn't steal the chief's fish, did you, Ben? I didn't think you did.
Well, we can all relax. Ben's troubles are practically over.
You mean he's free to go?
Well, not exactly. You see, the council over there have decided on a terrible fate for Ben. But I reminded Chief Kihatsa that there was a tribal law that said that anybody accused of stealing had a right to defend himself.
I mean, they're going to have a trial for him.
Well, that's the short of it.
And who's going to speak up for Ben?
Well, I am, of course. Don't you fret none, Ben. I ain't never lost me a case yet.
And what happens if you lose this one?
Well, that's long of it. If Ben's found guilty, he's banished from the mountains. Forever. All right, Adams, get rid of that long face. We're going to have Ben out of this trouble in no time at all.
How you figure on doing that?
Well, that shouldn't be too hard. All these people know Ben. They know all there is to know about him.
Yeah, including his eating habits. They all know fish are his favorite food, not counting your flapjacks.
You got something running around that head of yours?
Seems to me if we're going to prove Ben's innocence, we got to find something. Change the chief's mind.
Change his mind? The last time he changed his mind, he's riding around in a cradle on his mama's back. Come to think of it, that isn't what got changed even then.
Jack, if Ben didn't take them fish, someone or something else had to, and we got to find out who.
Well, the way you tell it makes sense. You sit tight and I'll go powwow with the chief and see if I can get us some more time. Come on, Nakoma.
Ben, I don't know if you got a hankering what's going on around here. But if we can't prove what you didn't do, what everybody thinks you did, you're going to have to leave these mountains.
I know. The same thing happened to me once, too. Well, if you understand what I'm saying to you, I guess you're probably thinking, what right they got to make you leave. Well, this land belongs to them, Ben. They've been here a long time. They own the rivers and the streams and forests. You and I chose to live here, so we got to live by their rules. But let me tell you something, old friend. If they make you leave, I'm going with you.
So you see, Chief, Ben and me, we need more time. He buying it.
The book, the pier.
He's killing ants on his blanket.
Kuahilo. Kandish. Ba Livik.
Tomorrow noon, when the sun's straight up. That's mighty obliging of you, Chief. You ever miss?
Beide.
Adams tried to comfort Ben with the idea that maybe tomorrow he might find some evidence to clear him. And Ben understood.
How much of that you got left?
We always got enough to feed a hungry boy.
Tumaqua, would you like some food? Go easy with it, it's hot.
Here you go, Adams.
Thank you. What do you think of that stuff?
Best I've ever had. What's in it?
I got some goat's beard greens, some mustard weed, and a little seagull lily, and some pepper grass to give it flavor.
Will Ben be all right?
Well, of course he will. I'm going to talk for him at the trial, ain't I?
It's awful nice of you to be so concerned about Ben.
Everybody loves Ben.
Fix me another plate, would you, Jack?
That for Ben?
Yeah.
Sort of like his last supper, so to speak.
I thought you won your tribal beads.
I did, but I lost them. May I feed Ben?
I don't see why not. You giving Ben your food?
Yeah.
It's not often you get to see a young pup give up his food like that.
You got something on your mind. What is it?
I don't know.
Please eat, Ben. Please. I wish you was mad at me, Ben. You ought to be. Because of me, you're in big trouble. I know I should tell the chief I took the fish. But I'm afraid, Ben. If I do, no one will talk to me or play with me again. Please forgive me, Ben. Please.
Jack, look at that. He got Ben to eat. I guess we ought to get some shut-eye. We're gonna have a big day ahead of us tomorrow.
It'll be all of that for sure.
No, no. Ben didn't do it. You can't send him away.
That night, none of us got much sleep. And Adams, least of all, because he kept worrying about the rest of us, like always.
Yeah. It's gonna be quite a day tomorrow.
Jack! Jack, where are you? Jack, are you anywhere abouts? Ben, have you seen Jack?
You ain't seen Jack either, huh?
And so, Chief, me, Ben, that greenhorn Adams, gives you our word that that bear is no thief. No, sirree, you can take it personal from old Mad Jack himself. That there bear has got as much decency in his bones as I have. Now, you stop that. You're supposed to be the chief. You're supposed to be listening, not braying and acting impolite. Thank goodness you ain't on the council. Where was I? Oh, yeah. And so, Chief, in finishing, I want to tell you that that bear is innocent. And he's a... Well, now, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be out finding me some evidence. Sure does make it hard when the fella's got to do everything himself.
I was just on my way, Jack.
Well, make sure you're back here by noon. And Adam, don't you fret. Old Mad Jack ain't gonna let you and Ben down. Tacoma?
things, he's sure gonna need it.
Don't worry, Ben. Everything's gonna be all right. I heard Mr. Jack say so last night.
Tacoma, look at that.
Ina, Plistasa, Sasawiga, Techiza.
Well, sure, I remember the old Indian legend. It says that animals were once given a chance to talk like men do. But being smart, they figured if they talked like men, they'd have to work like men. I sure wish these little fellers could talk, though.
Adam, you got. What is it, Tacoma?
I think we found the answer. It sure comes with a mighty big problem.
So you see, Chief, you gotta look at it.
Chief. Hua. Gandish. Bach. Kilo.
Oh, you can't start yet. Adams ain't here.
Holly duck. Hele luck.
Well, I know Ben's here.
Kushbailok. Adams. Hulasak.
Well, that's true. Ben is on trial and not Adams, but...
Omniche.
Where in tarnation is that greenhorn? I sure do need him. Well, all of Ben's animal pals that was so worried about him was still waiting for the trial to begin. They was just as caring as we was as to what was going to happen to him.
Why don't we begin? Well, see, Chief, we can't begin yet because, we don't have us a proper witness stand. Well, a witness stand is a place where a fella can sit a spell.
Sabi. Haniuhahi. Ah. Nawa.
Well, the ground's not a fitting place for a man to sit. I mean, for a witness to sit. Say, look at that stump there. Now, I'll bet a few of your men could make that into a real proper witness stand in 3, maybe 4 hours.
I was getting mighty worried, hoping I had enough time to figure out a proper defense for Ben. Ben's animal pals was getting mighty fidgety too, and, well, so was Ben. Sit it down right there. Let's see. Let's cut this off right about here. That's it. Good.
Now, just take it easy, fellas. I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
I should have known Adams wouldn't be late for Ben's trial unless there was a darn good reason. Well, a baby crow away from the nest is about as good a reason as there is. Adams figured the baby fell out of the nest and wandered off, so it was up to him and Tacoma to find his home. The animals was all waiting for the trial to begin, all pulling for their friend Ben. Well, some of them was waiting.
All right. Let's have a look. Hey, that's a pretty fair job of work, fellas. But it still just won't do. Now, let's see. If you was to give her another cut, right about in there, that'd fix her.
Adams found the crow's nest all right, and the little feller's brother and sister was mighty glad to see him. Once again, Adams had helped nature set things right. But things was far from right back at the Indian camp.
All right, Chief. We got us a witness stand. Let the trial begin. Now, you're not helping things one bit. You just sit there and try to look innocent.
Go, Jack.
Where in the world have you been?
Well, I've been looking for something.
Did you find it?
I reckon so.
Well, let me have it.
I can't do that, Jack. And I can't explain none neither.
What am I supposed to do?
Well, just keep doing what you're doing.
You're about as much help to me as Ben.
Look at this, Ben. You and I both know who did it, don't you? Ben? Boy's whole life depends on him coming to it himself. What do you say we give him that chance, huh?
I now call that greenhorn Adams to the stump. Take the stump. Now then, how long have you known Ben?
Well, you know how long I've known Ben. Ever since he was a cub.
And have you ever knowed him to steal?
Steal what? And from who?
I'm supposed to be the one asking the questions.
I'm sorry, Jack.
Have you ever knowed him to steal fish?
Nope.
No what?
Nope, I've never known him to steal fish.
You hear that, Chief? Now, here's a man that has known this bear ever since he was a cub, and he's never knowed him to steal fish.
Well, Jack, once in a while up by Crow Creek, you know, when I'm snoozing, Ben likes to sneak up and...
Whose side you on anyway? You're worse than Ben. And you being my only witness.
Well, I ain't the only witness.
What do you mean?
Well, you got Ben.
Ben? Oh, sure. I was going to call on him next.
Well, am I through, Jack?
Yeah, you can step down. No, you can't decide now, Chief. I still got me another witness. Ben, take the stump.
You must be very worried about Ben.
I am, Tumaqua. But I'm especially worried about somebody else.
Who?
Well, if Ben didn't take those fish, somebody else had to. They're going to have to live with that. They're going to have to carry it with them every day like a stone.
Maybe he's afraid everybody's going to think he's a thief. And no one's going to talk to him again.
Well, I'm sure folks understand about people making mistakes. But especially if they own up to them. That's the important thing.
Oh, now then, Ben, have you ever seen these fish before? Well, that'll teach me to listen to you, Adams.
I guess that just about does it for Ben.
Wait! Ben didn't steal the fish. I did.
I think these belong to you, Tumaqua. It's a mighty big thing you're doing, and I'm mighty proud of you. You want to tell me what happened?
I speared many fish, but an otter made me lose them. I took the fish, then wolves chased me. I climbed a tree, and then I lost my neck beads. Then Ben came and chased the wolves away. I know it was wrong, but I didn't want my tribe to think me unworthy of being a brave.
Well, are you a good fisherman, Tumaqua?
Very good.
Seems to me that if you're a good fisherman, and you know it, you don't have to prove it to other folks. Isn't that right?
Tumaqua, Sabaya Guksha, Tishiwa.
Time for him to stand in front of the council.
So his punishment's going to be replacing the fish that the chief lost. That's fair enough. I'll settle for that. Well, Adams, you made everything come out all proper and fitting.
Well, I appreciate that. Don't forget you were the lawyer.
Yeah, I was a lawyer. Hey, look at that. And to think, I made that all possible.
We want to thank you, Chief, for bringing us the fish. We appreciate it.
Tumaqua, Huahina, Ota, Champa, Akadi.
Oh, you mean you caught more fish than that? You are a fisherman.
I'd like to thank you, Chief. Especially like to thank you, Tumaqua.
It is I who owe gratitude. I learned much from you and Ben. And you too, Mr. Jack.
Yeah, you sure you won't stay and help us eat the fish?
Idamaya, Ukdapita.
I'm sorry you have to go, Chief.
You know, you're slyer than any old fox in the forest.
What do you mean?
The minute you found them beads, you knew who stole them fish.
I reckon I did.
Then you could have turned them over to the chief right then and there, and the whole thing would have been settled. But no, you had to play detective and make everything come out your way, didn't you?
I just figured that Tumaqua had to come to admit it on his own.
Well, let's get at them fish the chief left us.
You know something, Jack? You get a good feeling deep down inside you when you help somebody.
Yeah, I know, Adam.
Well, let's get at them fish. They look mighty tasty, and I ain't had all day.
Deep inside the forest is a door into another land. Here is our life and home. We are staying here forever in the beauty of this place all alone. We keep on hoping, maybe there's a world where we don't have to run. Maybe there's a time we'll call